Okay, so welcome back from the break, and many thanks for staying with us here on the Morning Rush on Metro Television. My name is Desmond Okrekudan, you can call me Desi Freddy in the Star. When well, it's time for us to talk. We're talking about something amazing. I've got two women joining me this morning, and we're talking about Midwifery Day 2023. And I like it says that working together from evidence to reality. Yeah, so we'll get to talk about that. And so I've got Netta Forsin-Akon, who is the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses or the Ghana Registered Midwives Association. She is the president, and also Precious Dede Tete is the treasurer for the Greater Accra region for the Ghana. That is the JRMA, so that's the same association, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great. So let me start with you, Madam President. For midwives in this country, generally, what is the well-being for midwives in Ghana?
Thank you very much, Desmond. Yes, and good morning to all our viewers, especially my midwives that are viewing. The well-being of our midwives is at our heart. It's our heartbeat. And if we say that it's our heartbeat, it means that we are looking at their well-being from two perspectives: pre-service and in-service. Pre-service referring to when they are being trained to come up as midwives, and then in-service when they had qualified to offer the care. Now, taking us to the pre-service level, we have training institutions across the country where midwives are trained. But for us, we know that if midwives are to be given instructions, it should come from a midwife. There are situations where, because of shortage of midwifery lecturers and tutors, this training is done by non-midwives.
Really?
So our need here is that we should have midwives training our midwives, because when they do that, they'll be able to offer them the guidance that they need to acquire the skill that they would use to practice. And then when they are practicing also, they can supervise them, they can precept them, they can mentor them, and make them very good midwives to come out and practice.
Interesting. I just, sorry to cut in, but how do non-midwives train midwives?
You see, for the training of the general nurse,
Okay.
they do an aspect of midwifery just to be able to handle emergencies that come to them and refer. So with such background, some are given room to take up midwifery courses. They are actually not practicing the midwifery, but we need someone who is practicing the midwifery, who understands what is happening. Because when you don't understand what is happening to the woman, or in pregnancy or at the time of delivery, you will not be able to make quick decisions to save life. And this is why we want to see the midwife doing this. So that right from the time of training, these students are given guidance to be able to observe, to look out for some of these things in time to save life, because time also counts very much in midwifery practice.
Great.
And then when we come to our service delivery point, we are looking at the well-being of our midwives in so many angles. First, I will take the work environment. The work environment is such that it's become a generic environment for all midwives who are practicing. You enter the facility, you have a point for taking care of the pregnant woman, that's the antenatal care services point. You have a point for delivery, you have a point for postnatal care. Within these places, there should be some ambience that makes the work there of comfort to the midwife and the client that she's taking care of.
Okay.
We don't see this in many places. Sometimes even the shade, supposed shade that they sit under for the antenatal care is something to reckon with, because when it comes to sunlight, strong sunlight, it makes these pregnant women to be shifting their chairs around. When it's raining and the direction of the wind is towards them, they have to be moving, and it's not the best. It gives the midwife a lot of issues to handle during that time. So we want to see very comfortable environment for the midwife to practice in.
Okay.
Again, in the same environment, some of the environments are not favorable for practice. There's too much violence. And the worst of it all is sexual harassment.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that the midwife is safe, and we need to have those policies that will guide our midwives to be safe in their environment without any harm happening to them. Some are attacked because of where they are. In remote places, they will have to walk a distance to their workplaces without lights. And so some get harmed on the way, and we want to see that things change for our midwives.
Great.
Aside this,
okay, you want to add another one?
Yes, there are several others.
Okay.
And I wish you'd permit me to carry on. Yes.
Sure.
So aside the work environment, we're also looking at the midwife the midwife at the point of managing the situation.
Okay.
We want to see a midwife in lead. The midwife must be the leader. Being the leader, like I talked about earlier, this midwife should be able to manage the situation in a way that it wouldn't seem that there is a problem.
Okay.
If you take the home environment as an example, you'd realize that the mother in the home makes sure that everything falls in place for the family. Even when there is no money, even when there is nothing to put in the pot to cook, this mother will make sure that she puts a smile on the faces of every one of her family members.
Okay.
The midwife is in for this because she doesn't have to express fear. She doesn't have to express worry. She doesn't have to express anything negative for her client to see that things are not going on well. But the midwife in leadership will be able to guide these because she can be at the table to discuss things and get it happening the way that midwives want to see. And also, if you want to cut me short, let me talk about the salary of midwives, because our salaries in this country is not the best for us midwives, in the sense that in the workplace, for our scope of practice, we have the most to attend to. But with this lots of activities that we have to perform, we realize that when it comes to negotiations for salaries, the midwives are not at the table.
What is the salary like?
I would
give me a range. You could give a range.
No, I won't quote because it's public and
2,000.
Nobody should know what I take in my purse.
No, that's why I wanted a range.
It's not the best for me.
I mean, I'm just
thinking.
It's
not the best for our midwives. So I would not mention any salary rate.
Yeah, sure.
So that the midwives would have trouble. Maybe somebody in the corner there wants to come and do something about it. So all we are saying is that they should give us the opportunity to be at the table to negotiate for ourselves.
Okay.
The midwife must be in charge because she knows what the midwives are going through and will be able to talk through to get better salaries and working conditions.
Great.
We don't want allowances. We want the salary.
The salaries.
Yes,
okay. So that's been very, very extensive, and but let me bring Precious in and talk about how there are some negative thoughts when it comes to midwives. People bring out the bad stuff will always be the ones that will come out rather than the good. How do you feel with respect to things like this, and how, as a group, how are you making sure that you overturn all of these, things that people think about midwives in the country?
All right. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to say sorry that once in a while you hear those things on radio. But during the process, or when you get to know the reason why some of these things happen, you rather appreciate the midwife. Because at the point she's dealing with two lives. Your husband is standing behind the door, your mother-in-law is there waiting to hear the sound of a baby. And I'm there with you, and I want to make sure this thing happens. and maybe one way or the other you are delaying for the birth of this baby, and I need to put in an action to make sure that you have a live baby. So one way or the other, I might do something that is not right to you, but to me, I'm saving life. And you might come out and say, oh, this is what she did, and you know, you hear stuff like that. At the end of the day, we get to know about it as an association. Okay. And we also try to talk to policymakers. We try to inculcate how to deal with emotional situations. We have something we call emotional intelligence. It's about being aware of your emotions and being able to manage it. And as time goes on, we do workshops, seminars to train our midwives to be able to manage their emotions, to be aware of them and how they will relate to the patient. Because it's because of them, that's why we are there. But at a point in time, you feel you need to do something for this mother to save the baby. But here we are. You go out and the good things that you did for her, she will never mention it. But the bad ones are the ones that she will mention. But as time goes on, we are improving on our services. We are having good and comfortable environment to engage this to
let the woman understand what you do.
To understand what we do and why sometimes you have to go out of our way to do one or two things. And now we have male involvement. Your partner can be there with you during your delivery. Even during antenatal, you can go with your husband. So this, we've really improved on most of the things that we do. So we hope that this thing will really go down.
It gets better.
Things get better for all of us.
Okay, that's good. If you just tune in, you're watching The Morning Rush. We're talking about Midwifery 2023. It's the International Day is here in a bit, and we've got the president of the Ghana Registered Midwives Association and also the treasurer of the Greater Accra branch of the association talking about this. Madam President, let me get back to you and let's talk about the International Midwives Day. What really does this day mean to you and to all your members? And the theme is very interesting.
Yes. For this year's theme, Together Again from Evidence to Reality, it was couched by our mother association, that is the International Confederation of Midwives. Okay. It's made up of several midwifery associations all over the world, and they couched this theme because every 3 years, we meet as a body or in the Triennial Congress. And in the year 2020, when COVID struck, we were just about going. The Congress is almost always held in June. And we had our lockdown. Ghana had our share in March. And then from other points of the world, they had it earlier and it continued. So because of the COVID that came and the restrictions that came on with traveling and social distancing and all that, we were deprived of coming together as a body. And so having worked in virtual situations, we did our Congress all right, but it was virtual. And this year we are going again to have it in Bali, Indonesia. And so in order to whip up more interest, they shared the same theme for this Congress with the celebration of IDM, International Day of the Midwife, so that we'll be able to reflect on things that we did in the past 3 years that have helped the associations to stand on their feet and sort of improve in their relationship and in the care that they offer. So this is how, in brief, this theme
the thing came about. I think it's a very interesting one, and I know lots of activities have been lined up. Precious, tell us about it. When exactly is it, and what are some of the activities that you've lined up for the celebration?
The celebration will be on the 5th of May. Yeah, it's 5th
of May. That's Friday.
And then there will be a luncheon and then award ceremony at University of Cape Coast. Medical school auditorium.
You have to go to the best university in Ghana.
Exactly, and then the time will be around 9 a.m. in the morning. But we started a lot of things during last month, in the middle of last month, and we'll continue to the end of this month. Where at the other regions, They are having talk show on the radio and TV as well, educating people on what midwives do and all the activities for the celebration. So there will be a float tomorrow, the same place, Cape Coast Township, to celebrate midwives, celebrate mothers, and then create awareness about most of the things that we do for our mothers.
So that's going to be over the weekend in Cape Coast?
In Cape Coast, right from tomorrow. 4th, 5th, and then the program still continues to the end of the month.
All right, Ogwama Yerba.
We'll be there live.
I need to chip in something here that for this award ceremony, over some time now, we've been getting support from UNFPA Ghana.
Yes, I was going to come to
do that.
To that. The support or the contributions of major stakeholders like the UNFPA, as you have mentioned, and others. You could share that with us.
Yes, so UNFPA mainly, they carry out activity-based things with us. So they support us when we have some activities, either something like this International Day of the Midwife, or when there are travels coming up for conferences and so on, they support us to move to those conferences, whether locally or internationally, so that we'll be able to participate and come back with ideas to help move our association and midwifery forward in our country. So we are very grateful to them. And then we have also been working with Japaigo, Ghana. They have done a lot of projects with us, and very recently we went into partnership with them together with other stakeholders to be able to go through policy dialoguing. And this came about because of the revelations that we had from the State of the Midwifery World Midwifery Report, State 2021, and then State of the World Nursing Report, and then for the regulators also, those things that they found about them, in order that we can all work together as a body to move the two professions and then forward in our country. We had to work with the regulator in that project with Japaigo, and we have done a lot of progress. It's about ending this September, but even though the project is going to end, we will not end there. Japaigo had also been able to, you see that Precious was talking about the emotions of our midwives. Japaigo has been able to factor out this and has worked with us, and currently we have a movement, Convoke. It's something that is established among facility workers, so that for certain times in the month, they come together. No one sponsors this. They come together to be able to share their experiences, shed off stress, and in shedding off stress, they have games that they can play, they have food that they would share and make merry, so that by the time they leave their meeting, at least you've shed off something and you can go fully to work and take care of the people that you have to
take care of. Okay, so it's been a very fruitful discussion with Women Here, Midwifery Day 2023. It starts tomorrow, right? Or the 4th, 5th in Cape Coast. They are coming to the best university in Ghana, that is UCC. Note that, the School of Medical Sciences, and they'll be there over the weekend to celebrate the day. Many thanks to Netta Forson-Akon, who is the president of the Ghana Registered Midwives Association, and also Precious Dedetete, who is the treasurer of the Greater Accra branch of the association. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you.